time now for Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join News Director Paul David and News Editor Philip Katafamo as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics in Yavapai County that affect all our lives. And now here's today's Countywide.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Countywide. I'm your host, Philip Katafamo. I'd like to thank you for joining me. On today's show, we're talking Manzanita Outreach, and my guest in studio today is Executive Director Mike Newcomb. Mike, thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Philip.
You guys run an incredible organization. For those of you who are like myself and new to the area or just are not familiar with Manzanita Outreach, could you just give us a quick history of Manzanita?
Yeah, sure. So Manzanita Outreach was formed in 2011. And how it started was our co-founders, Karen Freeman and Kim Gould, went on a medical mission relief trip to Haiti after the devastating earthquake, and came back with, like, what can two people from Arizona do to help Haiti? And was able to form the organization, get some local churches involved, and then adopted the Kids Against Hunger program, and just kind of worked their way through that. And since 2011, we've packed and distributed over 2 million meals of our Kids Against Hunger meals. And those primarily go to a school that we support there and 5 orphanages in an area called Go Naives, Haiti. So that's how we started in 2011. And then I was on the board for a couple of years, and we decided we wanted to address local hunger as well. And that would have been in the spring of 2017. And so it just, like the first program, it just evolved from an idea to now we're sharing food with so many of our neighbors here in the Verde Valley. Now,
you said that you were on the board with Manzanita Outreach, but how did you get involved with the organization before then?
Well, my wife was Meals on Wheels coordinator in Sedona, and that gave me the opportunity through her eyes to learn that there's a lot of people in the Verde Valley, even in the Sedona and the village of Oak Creek, that struggle. And so I got a heart for that and helped her with a little food pantry there in Sedona. And then found the Manzanita Outreach because I wanted to do something that fit with my background, which is a lot of food distribution. And then the board said, again, let's address local hunger. So that's kind of how it all started. I had visited a lot of food banks and food pantries and seen the long lines, and moved here because of the beautiful scenery, and just really that transition to, we have this beautiful place to live and so many open-hearted people, but we also have a lot of our neighbors struggle. So that's really kind of at the heart of why we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah, it seems like here in the United States, we always have issues with homelessness and issues with starvation. Of course, those are issues that are obviously going around in the entire planet. But you guys obviously have your focus in Haiti as well, and also the main focus, which is here and helping the local communities. So you guys started out with Haiti, and then you guys started focusing here on in the local area. Mm-hmm. Is that something that you brought to the board, or is that something they were already doing?
Yeah, when they asked me to be director, I said, well, we want to continue to what we're doing for Haiti and hopefully expand, but I want to work on local hunger. And what we're trying to do with the board and so many key volunteers helping us out, we're trying to build a model that is scalable, that can be replicated in other communities. And our intention is, we're focused directly on making sure that everyone has enough food to eat in the Verde Valley, regardless of their personal circumstances. So that's what drives us, and we're looking to say, okay, here's all these great organizations that do great work, but there's underserved communities, neighborhoods, and there's gaps. So we are all about doing a gap analysis and saying, okay, here's what we need to do. So we put together a mobile outreach program where we can go to these underserved areas.
And we'll definitely be talking about the food sharing events for sure. But what else are you guys working on today?
Well, the latest thing is we've developed a website called mohelp.org, which Mo is for Manzanita Outreach. And basically what we discovered is a lot of people that could use some assistance. It's confusing. There's all these great organizations, but how do those organizations connect with the people that could use their services? and vice versa, which is probably the most important. So MoHelp is, you can go there and you can discover where any organization shares food within the Verde Valley. And that's our latest program, and there's a lot more to it, but people can print out schedules, they can find a map, they can put it in their calendar. If they like to go to Manzanita outreach only events, then it's searchable by organization. If they want to go to a location in their neighborhood, they can search by location as well.
And that is mohelp.org. It's on the screen right now if you're watching this on television, and on the radio it's mohelp.org. Like you said, it's essentially a directory. It can give people all the information that they need. You mentioned to me, and you guys are trying to expand this idea as well into covering other topics.
We are. So our mission statement is to share the abundance of resources within our communities with dignity and joy. And we started with food. Not that we're going to be providing affordable housing or whatever, but what we want to do with MoHelp is bring in other sectors, other things like transportation. What's all available to someone? What's available from a housing perspective? Where do I get a shower if I'm homeless and I live in Camp Verde? Those kinds of questions. And then I'm sure what will rise to the top is there are gaps there as well. And then we'll have some data where we can bring the community together and address some of those issues.
And when are you guys trying to launch that?
Well, we just had a meeting yesterday. We just finished getting food set up. So, but we haven't even decided which sector we're going to go to next. But it's just a process where you say, okay, we're going to address transportation. And then you go out and talk to the community, the people like Verde Valley caregivers that do awesome work, that help people with rides, and all the different organizations like that. And then, so it'll be a process. It's probably going to be like a year-long process to get it like we want it.
Yeah, but once it does come to fruition, I mean, that is going to be nice for people who do need those services to just call one number or go to one website and go, okay, this is going to give me all the information I need. Right now, it's just food. So again, that's mohelp.org, mohelp.org. You get calendar of events, printable calendar events, emergency food boxes, proxy form, home delivery request form, search by community, location, or organization. Essentially, where food is shared by all organizations, you guys can send people to just this website and they'll get all that information. Again, just food now, but hopefully more in the future.
Well, I think, just to kind of put a little bit more emphasis on, if somebody walked into a church or a school and said, we need food, you could have this link on your website and print them out a schedule right away.
And there's also, if you don't have access to the internet, there's also a phone number that you can call, 928-649-5772, which is, again, on the business card and probably on the website. But once again, 928-649-5772. MoHelp, a great extension of Manzanita Outreach. You guys are doing some really, really solid work.
Well, we love it. It's a privilege to do what we're doing and just to work with so many great people. Yeah.
Well, we still got a whole lot to talk about. Just kind of going back over again, mohelp.org, a community service program of Manzanita Outreach where anyone can discover where and when food is shared by all organizations within the Verde Valley, covering a lot of topics. More topics to be covered with MoHelp. Right now it's just food, but I mean, like you said, housing, where to find a shower. Again, there's a number attached to the business card if you can't have access to the internet. And you guys are still continuing to grow from there. I'm assuming that this is not the ceiling of the ideas for Manzanita Outreach. I'm pretty sure you guys are going to continue to keep growing, and I look forward to keep speaking with you as we continue the rest of the show. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to keep talking with Mr. Newcomb about Manzanita Outreach right here on Countywide. Don't go anywhere.
Breakthrough Medicine's Dr. Shada Sina offers comprehensive hormone testing and customized hormone therapy with a focus on lifestyle medicine, weight loss, allergy drops, brain and digestive health, seasonal detox, and nutrition. Dr. Sina is a referral physician for Suzanne Summers, specializing in bioidentical hormones for men and women. Breakthrough Medicine is located in Cottonwood's Hot Yoga Plaza. Call for a 15-minute complimentary new patient consultation, 928-649-0269, or visit online at breakthrough-medicine.com.
From inspiration to installation.
If you need help with your decorating plan, call the pros at the Picture Window. We are your #1 source for top quality blinds, shades, shutters, and flooring. We've been in business here for 41 years, and our delightful sales staff has decades of experience. We're the locally awarded Best of the Best in both Sedona and the Verde Valley.
Don't pass up a free estimate on your project. Call the picture window now.
Paul Stanley here with Stanley Steel Structures. We offer shade structures that provide style, value, and performance. Our Equinox louvered roof opens and closes to give you the ultimate patio experience. We also offer Alumawood shade covers that looks like wood but lasts like steel and never needs painting or maintenance. Visit us at StanleySteelStructures.com. Contact us today and be covered tomorrow. Stanley Steel Structures. Let us add some space to your place.
Feng Shui Artistry, the oldest form of development planning, today known as the art of placement. For 26 years, master Feng Shui educator, practitioner, artist, and author Caroline Patrick Bournet has used ancient rules of environmental, physical, and spiritual harmony to support clients' health, knowledge, creativity, and success. In mapping your home, you'll understand yourself. Better living is the gift of a lifetime. Change your life one room at a time. Schedule your Home Therapy 101 consultation today.
I want to welcome you back here on Countywide. I'm Philip Catafamo. On today's show, we're talking Manzanita Outreach. My guest in studio is Executive Director of Manzanita Outreach, Mike Newcomb. Mike, we were just discussing the MoHelp program. That's MOHELP.org. Now, I want to clarify that gives you information about food sharing events outside of just Manzanita Outreach. It is not just their events. It is any food sharing event that is going on. Am I correct in that?
That's correct. And the other aspect of that is we have 3 districts, for lack of a better word. But you can, if you live in the Cottonwood area, you go there. If you live in Camp Verde, we have all the events for all organizations, and same thing for Sedona.
Now, let's talk about the Proxy program. If I have trouble making it to the grocery store, I have trouble just getting even to where you guys are, what does the Proxy program do?
Yeah, so the Proxy program is basically, I'll use you and I as an example. That I need food, and I say, Philip, would you pick up food on my behalf? And I would go to mohelp.org, click on Proxy, fill out the form. I do that once, and then we maintain a record of those people that are proxies. Then you come to one of our food sharing sites and say, I'm picking up food for Mike. And that's the way it works. It's basically for people that can't get to food assistance for various reasons.
Now, how about the home delivery program?
Yeah, so again, we try to think of things from our neighbor's perspective and what their personal circumstances might be. So it might be that they are homebound, they don't have someone, like they just moved here, and we run into neighbors like that. So we have a home delivery program for people that are homebound. We define homebound a little bit differently. It could be, yes, you're physically homebound, but it could also be you don't have a car, or you don't have gas money, or whatever it might be. So again, we could set you up on a home delivery program. You could apply for that online, and then we have a network of volunteers that will bring food to your home.
I had a question and now it just slipped my mind, but oh yes, I now remember it. So how do you qualify for that? I mean, I would hope that there aren't people who just don't want to go to the grocery store and apply for this and are like, okay, great, they can just bring the food to me and I don't got to go anywhere. Yeah. How does the sort of application process work? Because you guys are taking everybody, but yeah. I would assume there's some limitations.
We do over 100 a month now, and it's amazing to me how honest people are. I mean, I don't mean that like I'm not shocked that they're honest, but it's not an issue. Okay. When you explain to people that there can't be any other option that works for you before we do this, so we talk through that. So you can't get to food assistance providers or food sharing events. No, and we talk about it. You don't have anybody for Proxy, so we know, and people are very honest about it, and just so grateful that we're able to do that. So I don't see it being an issue.
Well, that's great. I mean, like you said, you'd want people to be honest about their situations, and this is for people who are in those tough situations, and this is an opportunity for them to sort of help their issue a little bit more, help their current situation a little bit more. Right. The main website is manzanitaoutreach.org. So if you are just focused on the Verde Valley, manzanitaoutreach.org is their website. Again, for much more information, mohelp.org is another new program that Manzanita Outreach is bringing out there, mohelp.org. You mentioned to me you guys have a book sharing event as well, so not just food, but also a little bit of reading. Yeah, it happened organically. A couple of our key volunteers, Don and Sherry Smith, are retired teachers that live in the village of Oak Creek, and they had been helping us with food sharing events. And they approached me and said, we would like to share books with kids that come to our events. And I thought it was a great idea. And that has, again, like food sharing, has evolved from an idea to, I think, between 400 and 500 children's books a month. So when kids come, they can get one new book and unlimited amount of gently used, as they call them. They have a real heart for that, and for people that struggle, a lot of times they struggle being able to afford books as well for their kids. And we've seen parents break down and cry and say, wow, I got something I can read to my child. Or we had Spanish books, and the lady said in Spanish, which I didn't understand, but one of our other volunteers did, that said basically the same thing. This gives me an opportunity to read a book in our native language. Yeah, no, that's fantastic. I mean, not only the food, but you've also got the books. Just kind of going back to the food, Joe, and also the books, where are you guys getting these donations from? Who have you partnered with so far? Yeah, so we're a partner agency, as most are, with St. Mary's Food Bank out of Phoenix. And St. Mary's Food Bank Alliance is part of Feeding America network of food banks. They're large warehouses, and they receive food through growers and manufacturers and the Walmarts and Costco's of the world. And they have a several 100,000 square feet warehouse, and then they get that food in. It comes out of, like produce comes out of Nogales, out of that area, and yeah, they allocate that to various agencies based on how many people they serve. So it's really akin to just wholesale food distribution business. It works the same way. It's just the food they get's donated. But also, they get a lot of food from the USDA. We have a senior food box program as an example. About 250 seniors in the area receive those. We get pallets of USDA apples and milk and eggs and different things. So there's a lot of, it comes through that network and then is shared through food assistance providers like ourselves and others in the community. And what are people getting in those boxes? What is sort of your standard box that you're giving to a family? Well, I don't know if there is a standard. It's like Christmas every time we open the truck, but I can tell you what we did last Saturday at our food sharing at Verde Valley Christian Church, Saturday morning, which is on Saturday mornings so we can get to working families. We had 370, give or take, people come. They received sausage patties, pork loin, a gallon of milk, eggs, bag of pears, oranges, apples, potatoes, peppers, lettuce. We had shredded cheese, and then canned goods. So it's more food than they can carry. And one of the things we do is we call them wagoneers. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of like little garden carts that our volunteers will go along with people to help them get it to their car. It's usually about 50 or more pounds of food. And that's a pretty good base, a base package for people. I mean, I don't want to say a package like you're buying it, but a base box. Mm-hmm. You've got your starches, you've got your meats, you've got your vegetables, and you've got fruits and dairy. I mean, You're pretty much covering, for the most part, the entire food pyramid. Right. It's food assistance. It's not going to be everything, but it. Yeah, and we have some of our neighbors will say, I've changed the way I eat because I'm eating so much more produce and fruit and vegetables, which is awesome to hear. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to keep talking with Mike Newcomb and find out how you, yes you, can get involved with Manzanita Outreach countywide. We'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Start your journey toward better health with Ageless Touches Massage Therapy. Licensed massage therapist Richard Stevens uses the latest and best equipment to relieve scar tissue, electronic smog, and tinnitus. Ageless Touches does everything they can to work your issues down to the bone. Improve your path to better health with Ageless Touches Massage.
Award-winning Soundbites Grill is an entertainment restaurant located in Uptown Sedona at the Hyatt Pinion Point Resort. Open for lunch and dinner, featuring fresh fish, all-natural hand-cut beef, even a full vegan menu. Family-friendly, open 11:30 to 9, late dining on Friday and Saturday. Soundbites Grill has some of the best views of the Sedona Red Rocks. Offers world-class entertainment, food, fun, and music.
Hi, this is Lori
and Melissa
from Sedona Soul Spaces. We are the premier source for all your interior design, decorating, and staging needs.
Every day people ask, why didn't I call you sooner?
Let us use our passion, creativity, and experience to make your life easier.
Don't make costly mistakes. Call us and we will help save you time and money.
We offer full-service interior design, custom furnishings,
complete home staging, turnkey vacation home packages.
Sedona Soul Spaces, creating extraordinary spaces that delight your soul.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
I want to welcome you back to Countywide. I'm your host, Philip Catafamo. We are continuing our conversation about Manzanita Outreach with Executive Director Mike Newcomb. Mike, we have covered a lot in these two segments. We talked about the Proxy program, where someone picks up your food for you if you can't make it. We've talked about a home delivery program if you just don't have money for gas, don't have a car, or any sort of situation where food can be delivered to you. Manzanita Outreach, you guys are working with a bunch of millions of pounds of food, like you mentioned, going to the Verde Valley. The Mo Help program, which I do want to clarify, the Mo Help program is a resource website where you can get information on events, emergency food boxes, Proxy information, the Proxy form for the delivery, the home delivery request form. mohelp.com, mohelp.org is the resource website. If you wanted to learn about Manzanita Outreach, you would go to manzanitaoutreach.org. So there's two websites. One is a resource, and one has, well, I guess it's a resource source in a way, but it's got more information about Manzanita Outreach, whereas this is covering a lot more. Donations. You guys, I assume, run off donations. How do people get involved through donations?
Well, we start with manzanitaoutreach.org. And you could go and there's a donate button. We are a qualified organization for the Arizona Charitable Tax Credit. And yeah, we appreciate all the donations that we receive. It really helps us continue to sustain and to expand our services. As far as if somebody wanted to volunteer, same place. You click on volunteer, tell us what you're interested in, whether it be food sharing or meal packing or whatever it might be. And we'll reach back out to you and get you set up. We also would like to ask the community for books. If anybody has children's books, age appropriate, under, let's say 14 years of age, any kind of books, you could call our number from the website or find it on mohelp.org. And yeah, we'd love to be able to share books with kids that could really use them.
So if you have some extra kids books or young adult books that you'd like to donate, contact manzanitaoutreach.org. Again, mohelp.org as well, both resources for you to get those donations in. Of course, volunteer programs, like you mentioned, manzanitaoutreach.org would be a good spot to go there if you wanted to volunteer. You guys have a partnership with, well, not a partnership, but in my notes here it says the beginning of 2020 we expanded our food sharing events into Camp Verde and added a drive-through event at Mingus High School. Real quick, can we talk about that?
Thanks for asking that. So Camp Verde is one of those areas that we felt was underserved. So two Friday evenings a week, the first and third, we are there. And then also we expanded to, like you said, to Mingus Union High School. So we're in the back parking lot there. It's a drive-through. People can just come through in their cars, and we put a food box in for them.
Fantastic. And like we mentioned, Manzanita Outreach doing a lot, continuing to do a lot. They're going to continue to expand. More manzanitaoutreach.org to get general information on how to donate, how to volunteer, and just information about the organization. mohelp.org, another website or resource to give you information about where other food sharing events are that aren't necessarily Manzanita Outreach centered events. You guys do great work. Thank you, Mike, very much for coming on. I appreciate it.
You too.
Thank you very much. It's unfortunate you're a Chiefs fan because I'm a 49ers fan, but we'll talk about that some other time.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Mike, thank you very much again. One more time, manzanitaoutreach.org to get your donations, your volunteer work, get information about the organization itself. mohelp.org, mohelp.org for other information and more food sharing events. That's been Countywide. I'm your host, Philip Catafmo. Want to wish you a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time.